So here is my right angled triangle, and I need to find the length of a missing side. So what could we do to figure this out? Could we use Pythagoras? And the answer is no. We're missing way too much information here. You need to have at least two sides, and we only have one side. We don't know the hypotenuse. We only know one angle and one side. So that's not going to work. But we could use trigonometry, SOHCAHTOA. So let's see what that might look like. So here we go. We'll try SOHCAHTOA. First thing is, what do we know? Well, we know an angle, 52 degrees, so we'll tick off the three things that represent angles: sine, cosine, and tangent. We also know a side that is adjacent to our angle, so I'm going to tick off A for adjacent. And then what is it that we're actually looking for? And in this case, we're looking for a side that is opposite the angle that we know. So in this case, we're going to tick off O for opposite. Now, which one of these three things, sine, cosine, or tangent, has all the ticks needed? In this case, it's tangent. It's got 3 ticks under tangent. So now that you know that it's tangent, we can actually start to work on this problem a little bit. So let me set up my little triangle for my grubby finger. Since we know it's tangent, we're going to make this triangle right under the T. And I'm going to have my unknown right there at the top, opposite. So there's my unknown, opposite. And then, of course, on the other side, you've got T and A for tangent and adjacent. And now we just have to fill in the gaps as to what that all means. Now remember, in the grubby finger triangle that we construct, whenever two things are next to each other, like tangent and adjacent, they're right next to each other, that actually means that you are multiplying them. Whenever you've got two things that are kind of on top of each other, like opposite or adjacent, that means that you are dividing those two things. But in this case, the two pieces of information that we know is the angle, tangent, and the adjacent, and they're next to each other. So we're just going to multiply those two things to get your opposite. So let's see what that looks like in an equation. So I'm going to start my equation with opposite, because that's what I'm looking for. Opposite equals, and then I'm just going to look at the other two things that I know. In this case, since I have tangent, I'm going to put tan of my angle, which my angle was 52 degrees, so I'm going to go 52. And then, again, we're multiplying because it was next to the other thing that we know, the adjacent. And my adjacent in this problem was 7 centimeters, so I'm just going to put 7 centimeters. And then bringing that down, you still got your opposite equals, and then you just have to figure out what tan 52 is. And it's 1.28 to 2dp. And then you're multiplying that by your 7 centimeters. So just bring that down, and using your calculator, you figure out that the answer is 8.96 centimeters, and that's rounded to 2 decimal places. Voila! So there you go. So now you can move this thing over, and you can figure out that x is equal to 8.96 centimeters. And that's it.